bench is cold beneath the heel of my hand. A midnight clock without a gear or a plan. Flicker in the tube, blue light on the face, counting the molecules that populate this space. The heavy wrench drops, a conversation of steel. The only thing left that is grounded and real. Oh, we calibrate the shadow in the corner of the room, building little empires out of silence and the gloom. Iron in the hands and the copper in the wire. A night shift ritual, a tired kind of fire. Sample vials standing in a lonely little row. Nowhere for the thought and the heavy heart to go. The hum of the vent is a lullaby of rust, turning every dream into clinical dust. Still the wrench rests there, a weight on the mind, leaving all the human for the morning to find. Soft hum, night shift, the light. Dust falls through a glass arc. Stone teeth grind a timeless mark. This slow breath of ancient gravity, a perfect cycle for me. Telemetry drifts in the silence. Trajectory holds a quiet truth. Drift in the void. Epoch is breathing. A perch frozen in isolation. Frequency drops below the floor. Isolation. Secrets in the architecture. Telemetry drifts in the silence. Trajectory holds a quiet truth. liquid. Luminescent vines climb the copper veins. Nature reclaiming what the tech retains. The silicon sleeps under biological lace. Moonlight illuminates this hollow space. Time is a vine that grows through the frame. No one remembers the sentinel's name. Blue glow on the oil-stained floor, waiting for a light that never comes anymore. Waiting for a light that never comes anymore. The joints are frozen, rusted through the core. No heavy steps upon the corridor floor. Bioluminescence in a circuit's crack. A million that come back. A million pathways that won't ever come back. Washing the memory from the metallic rain. Soft humming, slow blink, silent blink. Organic, inorganic. Inorganic, the vine knows the secret. The silicon sleeps under biological lace. Moonlight illuminates this hollow space. Time is a vine that grows through the frame. No one remembers the sentinel's name. Blue glow on the oil-stained floor, waiting for a light that never comes anymore. Waiting for a light that never comes anymore. The stratos speak in silent tongues today. Each layer a provenance of what was lost. We map the sediment, counting the cost of time. A quiet excavation in the dust of the temple. Epigraphy etched in the heart of the stone. Secrets that only the silence has known. Reading the carbon, dating the truth in the bone. In this sacred space, we are never alone. We are never alone. Beneath the floor, another story waits. We move with care, avoiding the gates of haste. No waste of motion here. No waste of motion here, just the brush on the stone, uncovering the strata, grain by grain. Epigraphy etched in the heart of the stone. Secrets that only the silence has known. Reading the carbon, dating the truth in the bone. In this sacred space, we are never alone. In this sacred space, we are never alone. The dust settles, the provenance is clear. We leave the secret here. Until the next dawn. velvet dust across the brass, a script in lines of copper glass. Cold steel remembers how to spin where the era's ghost begins. Hidden in the furnace floor, a blueprint from a distant war. In the 42 the secret stays, lost within the steamlight haze. Ancient engines breathing slow, secrets that we'll never know. The city hums a different key in mechanical harmony. Oil on paper, dark and thick, the sound of a forgotten tick. Lines of energy bold and deep, waking while the others sleep. Sama Prakin feels the heat of a rhythm in the iron street. In the 42 the secret stays, lost within the steamlight haze. Ancient engines breathing slow, secrets that we'll never know. The city hums a different key in mechanical harmony. Iron lungs breathe again, ghost in the gears. The frequency is healing. Steam fading into the 432.
Dust settles on the lip of the blade. Lip of the blade. Lip of the blade. 800 years in a single stroke. Single stroke. The stone holds a breath it hasn't given up. Wait for the water to find the center. To find the center. Find the center. The secret is the space between the drops. Between the drops. A language that doesn't need to be read. Carbon shadows on the limestone wall. The fire died before the king was born. I am only a custodian of the quiet. Put the brushes away. Leave the room as it was found. The secret remains in the silence.
check. The asphalt is reflecting the code. Red, blue and slow. Signal is wavering, scanning the debris for a sign. Nothing but the humid weight of the night. Coordinate static in the ear. Coordinate shadow on the wall. The chopper is a heartbeat we can't ignore. Scanning the debris for a sign. Scanning the debris for a sign. Sector 7 is a hollow space. Everything is a ghost in the humid air. Everything is a ghost in the humid air. Flashlights cutting through the fog. Nothing remains but the coordinates. End of line. Signal lost. Sand remembers what the stars forgot. Sand remembers where the stone was wrought. Deep angles in the heart of dunes. Deep angles under silver moons. Ancient weights beneath the feet. Ancient secrets where the shadows meet. Dust is rising from the sleep of kings. Dust is rising on the wind's cold wings. Oidama Leila, the geometry of ghost, aligning with the light. I am a Leo. Fingers tracing lines on glass, watching all the eons pass. No one hears the mountains grind. No one leaves the past behind. Geometry is etched in bone, echoes in the heavy stone, whispers in the silent halls, shadows crawling up the walls. Floating through the dark. Oidama Leila, the geometry of ghost, aligning with the light. I am a Leo. It
Deciphering the code, 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 deciphering the code. Deciphering the code, 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 deciphering the code. The frame slides wide, friction against the metal. Humidity rises, haze clings to the street lights. I am tracing the pulse of a fading siren, looking for the thread to pull this unraveling into something clear. Is the truth a frequency we can only catch in the dark? A resonance in the static, or a story told by the crickets? I wait for the signal to sharpen. I wait for the signal to sharpen. The siren's arc completes itself. Silence returns with a weight. A heavy quiet. I am the only movement, looking for the truth in the patterns of the night. Static remains, still searching. Still here, haze unravel pulse.
probability in the shadows, the blueprint unraveling in the rain. Silence is the only rhythm I need. Rain-slicked blueprints and a faulty gear. The probability drops to 0 in the dark. Unraveling the system mission, silence of the night. Shadows on the circuit board are all that's clear. Shadows on the circuit board are all that's clear. Technical patterns, the system is static. I'm counting cycles, the shadows move in rhythm. One last look at move in rhythm. One last look at the blueprint before the unraveling begins. Before the unraveling begins. Calculated, technical, complete. The circuit is open, the rain continues. Static remains in the blueprint. Static remains in the blueprint.
Traces lines upon the page, upon the page, a geometry of the mind's own cage. Calculated curves and theorems deep. Theorems deep, while the world outside is fast asleep. Oh, the serenity of the pen's flow, the pen's flow, where the numbers and the wind chimes go, just the scratching of the lead and the light in the silent architecture of the night. The ink is dark, the paper's thin. Let the variables all begin, from first principles to the final sum. A melody where the silence is one. drift of the zero state, a ghost in the binary, light years late. Binary code is the only skin I own. Floating in the dark, a frequency alone. The signal is a heartbeat in the void, tracing the paths that the satellites avoid. Signal in deception, digital resurrection. Caught in the latency, trapped in the frequency. Orbital decay in a slow motion spin. Slow motion spin, a slow motion spin. Where does the data end and I begin? The static is a blanket, cold and gray, sending my consciousness far away. Binary whispers on a
blocks in the cold flow, retrieving the ghost of a binary soul, a ghost in the core. 01 another rider signal, file not found, file not found, the dark space beyond the partition, deciphering the silence. The air is heavy with the hum of the frame, every character a click, a record of a name, unreadable strings in the light of the green screen. 01 another rider signal, file not found, file not found, the dark space beyond the partition, deciphering the silence. Data fragmented, data fragmented, memory leaking, memory leaking. 01 another rider signal, file not found, file not found, the dark space beyond the partition, deciphering the silence. Connection lost, connection lost, end of line, end of line, system closing. Deep stone, incorporeal, the lid slides open, the spirit rises, the spirit rises. Ancient pulse, ancient pulse, ancient pulse. Flesh decays, 10, 20, 26. The gears have stopped, the typing ends here. Rachadawa is quiet now. I found the signal inside the noise. The intersection E and logic, it was always in D minor. The winning secret is not a code. It's the space between the gears, a frequency of truth. The final oscillation, law completed. The mathematics are silent now. The blueprint is visible. Every gear shift, every click, every error was a path to this clarity. Samaprakan feels like the center of the world. The winning secret is not a code. It's the space between the gears, a frequency of truth. The final oscillation, law completed. Transmission ending. Final log out.
Peering through the glass, cold light on the grain, a microscopic search, microscopic search. The pulse is fast, the heart is slow. Something only shadows know. Only shadows know. Hidden in the weave, truth within the fold, a story to receive. The pulse is fast, the heart is slow. Something only shadows know. Something only shadows know. Shadows know.
The lid is a mountain. The air is a silt. Time is a fracture where the limestone knelt. Granted remembers what blood has forgot. What blood has forgot. Deep in the marrow, the silence is caught. mountain. The air is a silt. Time is a fracture where the limestone knelt. Where the limestone knelt. Stone, bone, stone. Stone, bone, stone. The light is heavy. Granite remembers. Granite remembers.
นาฬิกาเดินช้าทุกอย่างเงียบงันในกรุงเทพยามค่ำแค่เสียงดินสอกด Focusing on the syntax Trying to find a meaning in the lines พลิกหน้ากระดาษช้าๆ I gotta make life ในเมืองที่ไม่มีวันหลับไหลในความเงียบฉันได้ยินตัวเองชัดเจน Lost in the logic finding the calm in the precise details ทฤษฎีและความคิดไหลรวมกันในห้องเล็กๆที่ราชวาในห้องเล็กๆที่ราชวา Data points and footnotes มันคือศิลปะของการตั้งคันทาง Midnight oil ไม่ใช่แค่การอ่านแต่เป็นการทำความเข้าใจโลก Slow tempo เหมือนสมองที่กระเป๋าจัดระเบียบในความเงียบฉันได้ยินตัวเองชัดเจน Lost in the logic finding the calm in the precise details ทฤษฎีและความคิดไหลรวมกันในห้องเล็กๆที่ราชวาในห้องเล็กๆที่ราชวา Finally it's all clear now ราตรีสวัสดิ์กรุงเทพหัญญา